Have you ever wanted to publish your Webflow site directly from Airtable? Now you can, all with a simple script. In this video, we're going to show you how to add a button into Airtable that literally says publish Webflow. And when you click it, it will publish your Webflow site. Now we're going to do this using a little bit of Airtable scripting, but I promise, even if you're not a developer, this is going to be really simple. And most importantly, in the comments of this video, we're going to leave a link to the actual script. So you can literally just copy and paste it following this video and do the exact same thing. To start, I've got my Webflow site on the left and my Airtable base on the right. And what we're going to do is add a button into Airtable that effectively lets us click this publish button in Webflow, but without actually going into Webflow. So to do this, we're going to go into Airtable and click on extensions and then add an extension. And right here on the right, you'll see scripting. So scripting is what lets us write a little bit of code, or in this case, copy and paste a little code that will do a bunch of powerful things. Now, the key bit here is we'll need to actually have a script to work with. And in the notes of this video, I'm going to link to a blog post that we published that has this actual script. So you can come on in here and click on the script at the very bottom and literally just copy and paste this whole thing. So we'll grab this and press copy, go back to Airtable and pop this in to our script. So we now have a templatized script, and you'll notice at the top that there's a configuration section and the rest of the logic. So we don't have to touch anything below here, but we do need to fill in our actual Webflow details in order to make this work. So the three things we need are the Webflow API key, the site ID, and the domains. So let's go get those one at a time. So if we go back to our Webflow site, let's go in reverse order here. We can grab the domain name. If we go back to publish, up here is just the literal name. So it looks like it's called testing-member-site.webflow.io, and it was published 2 years ago. So now you'll know if this actually works by the end of this video. So we can go back to our Airtable and pop that in right here. Now that we have our domain, let's go grab the site ID and the Webflow API key. So for this, we'll need to go into Webflow, click up here and hit site settings. From here, to get the API key, we'll need to go to apps and integrations and then scroll down a little bit and you'll see generate API token. If you click on that, first we can give this a name. So let's call this our auto publisher. And the permission that we'll need is just going to be this sites one, which is view and manage site data and publishing. So let's give that read and write access and generate this token. Great, we've got it. Let's copy it. Let's go over to Airtable and we can pop that API key right in here. Now, the last bit is the site ID, right? So again, there's little instructions here, but we're going to go to settings, general, and API information. We'll grab that. So here, if we go back to Webflow and exit out of this, go to general, scroll down a little bit, and we can find our site ID right here under this overview. We can just copy and paste that same idea right into our Airtable like this. And there we go. Cool. So now you should have something that looks a little bit like this, right? We've got our Webflow API key, our site ID, our domain, or domains if you have multiple. And all of this is going to live on this little side editor script right here. Once that's set up, all we need to do is hit run. This will run this little script. It'll spin a little bit and then boom, publish successful. So let's go back over to our Webflow site and check it out. If we open up our site and we go over to the top right, again, you saw last time this was published was about 2 years ago. And now if we go up here, it was published just a few seconds ago, all with our little script that lives right on our little sidebar. You can hit this a bunch of times and it'll do the same thing. Do note that Webflow has API limits. So if you hit this too often, Webflow will start rejecting those. But ultimately, you did it. This is the little run button. This is all live. You now have an actual script in Airtable that lets you publish your Webflow site without ever opening up Webflow. So I hope you found that useful. And if there are ever any other scripts you'd love to see, let us know in the comments. We'd love to build some other ones for you. And of course, if you ever want to actually control your Webflow CMS from Airtable, including all of the pages that you have in that CMS, you can use Whalesync for that. We handle things like multi-reference fields, rich text, images, videos, all that, all directly from Airtable. No scripts required.